Greetings, Donald here. You know, I go to a lot of meetings, presentations, seminars, and topics that include recruiting and interviewing and getting hired, and a word that keeps coming up in the presentations repeatedly is passion. And these company reps and recruiters, they insist they want to hire people who are passionate about their work, you know, and if we know that, then we should put it on the resume. The question is, how do you show passion on the resume without looking ridiculous? And I'll tell you one way, if you have a dramatic success story, you can post that story right at the top and lead with it. I do this a lot when it's possible, and it's not conventional, but it's very effective. Look, most people cannot lead that way with a big success story. In that case, you have to find some other way to bring the resume to life, because the one thing you cannot do, you cannot be boring. 90% of these resumes are so boring, nobody will read them. Well, they don't want to read them. So the way you do that then is to inject some energy, some excitement, some speed, some enthusiasm right into the text. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, here's a typical resume. It's awful. The vast majority of resumes look something like this. It's dense and boring, makes no sense at all at first glance. If you send this to people or companies that do not already know you, they'll probably trash it. People know this. They tell me they want to look different. But when I do that, when I do make them look different and competitive, often they chicken out. They won't step into the spotlight. So their careers stay stuck right where they are. Here's a resume that leads with a compelling success story. It's focused on benefits for the employer, stands out in a very good way. And if you lack that kind of success story, then at the very least, you can make it easy to read and infuse it with some personality. Just remember, a little bit of personality on a resume goes a long way, so do not overdo it. I hope this short video inspires you with an idea or two. The secret ingredient of an unbeatable resume is emotion, so make sure your readers can feel the heat. Most resumes start out like Frankenstein. They're just a collection of dead body parts, but all hell breaks loose when the mad scientist zaps him with a lightning bolt.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
And that was 80 years before Obamacare. So to stand out in a good way, your resume must show some signs of life, but bringing a resume to life is dangerous. If you screw this up, you'll create a monster. So you want to add some passion or spark, but the key rule is that a little of this goes a long way. Here's some examples, some resume elements that show signs of life. Warning, car not on board. That was for a consultant in retail auto. Failure is not an option. That was for a chief investment officer. Savoring the sweet smell of success. That was for a CMO and luxury fragrances. Here's a colorful storyboard. How to catch a 6 million cyber thief. And finally, here's some plain old text that tells a very dramatic personal story. Now, here's another way to bring your resume to life. Totally different. Just use the word I to introduce an energetic and passionate story about how you go about solving problems for an employer or client. Here's an example. My clients say everything runs better when I'm on the job. I'll bring order out of chaos, organize your company, and set up systems that consistently achieve goals. The word I does have some pros and cons. We all know that the word I is forbidden, so use it sparingly. On the other hand, I don't hesitate to use I when I need to inject some energy into a resume. Nobody notices anyway. The only people who'd possibly complain about it are you don't need them anyway. How's your resume doing? If you need help bringing it to life, contact me ASAP. I'm out of time, gotta go. I wish you the very best of good luck in your search.